You can start, Indy.
Hello everyone, good morning. I'm Indy Pereira and I'm a counselor at IDP Education Sri Lanka. I would like to welcome you all to the Know Your Group of 8 Universities Facebook Live session. And if we talk about the Group of 8 universities, they are the pioneers in research and education. The Group of 8 universities are the largest and oldest education institutions of Australia. High rankings, ample research opportunities, and strong industry connection make them a unique choice among students planning to study in Australia. Hence, today we have Justin Tay from the Monash University to discuss about university latest updates, popular programs, scholarships, and many more. Hi, Justin. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Indy. How about you?
I'm doing good too. So I warmly welcome you to today's sessions. So let's start today's sessions, and over to you, Justin.
Yep, thank you. Let me share my screen. Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Justin. I'm the Regional Manager for Monash University for the Sri Lankan market. So a very good morning to all of you in Sri Lanka. Today, for the next hour, I'm just going to give you a quick snapshot about the university itself and the city, Melbourne, that we're located in, and highlight some of the popular courses that many students would love to study in. Now, a bit about Monash University. We are a global university with presence across 3 continents. So our main campuses are based here in Melbourne. We also have a campus in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and also a campus in Prato, Italy. So we are spread across 3 different continents. Compared to the other group of 8 universities, Monash is actually quite a young university. We are established back in 1958, and with our first batch of students starting in 1961, and at that point in time we have about 347 students. So within a short time frame of about 63 years, we have now grown to become Australia's largest university in terms of student numbers. So that's a really amazing feat on how fast and how far we have climbed up the corporate ranking as well in QS, Times Higher Education ranking, and the ARW ranking, which I'll highlight some of the ranking to you later on. So it is a reflection on the fact that we are a young and ambitious university. Now, a bit about the city that we are located in. I'm sure most of you will be able to tell from my accent that I'm not from Australia originally. I actually grew up in Singapore. So like many of you, I was once an international student who decided on going to Australia, and specifically Melbourne, for my study. And I believe when you're selecting a university, it's also important that you take into consideration the city that you'll be studying in, because besides the university environment, the next macro environment that you'll be spending a lot of time in would actually be the city that your university would be located in. So it's important that you select a city that you're going to really enjoy yourself while you're studying here. So a bit about Melbourne itself. Melbourne, as you know, if you have done your homework, we have been consistently ranked one of the world's most livable cities. For many years, we were number 2 in positions. I think it was 7 years in a row, in the world, not just in Australia. And in Australia, we have consistently been the most livable city. There's a few factors that contributes to why we have been very successful in such global ranking. First and foremost is our education system here. There's 7 public universities here in Melbourne that you can choose from. Obviously, I would hope that you would choose Monash University. We're also the cultural capital of Australia. There's a wide range of activities that you can do while you're here, from ballet to the theaters to drama. So there's a lot of things, cultural activities for you to get involved in while you're here. Healthcare system, of course, here in Australia would be, one of the best in the world, So as a resident here in Australia, the healthcare system, you are pretty much very well covered and protected. And the infrastructure here as well. What's really unique about the public transport system here in Melbourne is the fact that besides trains and buses, we also have one of the biggest trams network in the world. So that's a very unique public transport system that you don't find in many cities in the world. And of course, the environment here is beautiful. You know, we have 4 seasons in the year. The weather is the weather during winter time, which is right now, is actually quite mild compared to, you know, Canada or the US or the UK. We don't snow here. Our average winter temperature is about 5 degrees to about 16 degrees during daytime. And of course, last but not least, the safety and the stability of this city is one of the reasons why Melbourne has consistently been ranked, you know, one of the world's most livable city. I've been here in Melbourne for over 20 years, and I can safely assure you, I've never once felt my life was in danger. It is truly a very beautiful city and safe city to be in. And it's also a very, it's a city made up by people from all over the world, which is one of the key reasons why I love the city. Now, the city is the host to some of the big international global events, which, you know, I'm sure you have heard of before. So on the screen, what you're looking at now is the Australian Tennis Open. So each year in January, we host the Australian Tennis Open, which is a very exciting event where it attracts a lot of visitors to the city. We also host the Formula One Grand Prix in March, which is another big global event that attracts a lot of visitors to the city. So while you're here as a student, obviously you would have the opportunity to participate and to enjoy these events as well. And of course, most importantly, you know, Australia, like Sri Lanka, is a very big cricket nation as well. So we host the T20. And, you know, so while you're here, I'm very sure all our Sri Lankan students are actively involved in the university's cricket club and also in all the cricket games that are playing here while you're studying. Now, what's unique about Melbourne as well, besides Sri Lanka, outside of Sri Lanka, Melbourne essentially is one of the biggest cities that has a very large population of Sri Lankan that have chosen to migrate and settle here over the years. So there's actually a very large Sri Lankan community here in Melbourne, you know. So from a perspective, Sri Lankan students' perspective, it's very beneficial for you to choose to come to Melbourne, because that means down the track, when you're completing your studies and you are applying for jobs, there's a very large Sri Lankan community that you can fall on for networking to help you in looking for jobs as well. You know, on the screen, you know, as you can see, we host an annual Sri Lankan festival, you know, around April. So it's a very exciting time where, you know, you get to, you know, walk around the fair and experience a bit, you know, if you miss home, you know, it's a good time to, you know, experience a bit of home and at the same time meeting other Sri Lankan people who have settled in this city. And on the screen here, there's several Sri Lankan restaurants in Melbourne. On the screen here, you're looking at Citrus. That's one of my favorite. So if you do choose to come to Monash, come and find me in the international office, and I'll give you some tips on which are the good Sri Lankan places to go to. Otherwise, if you join the Sri Lankan Student Association, I'm sure the seniors in the university will guide you as well on where are the good places to be hanging out. Now, a bit more about the university now. We are currently ranked number 57 overall in the world. What's important with this particular ranking is not just to look at it from this year's ranking perspective, but to look at the fact that Monash University has been consistently ranked in the top 50 range in the world. So that's a very consistent performance from us. And we are ambitious, like I said at the start, our aims is to be within the top 30 in the world. So we are working hard towards that. And also, of course, this year, our pharmacy and pharmacology subjects has finally ranked number 1 in the world. We are the only Australian university that has a number 1 ranking in the number 1 subject ranking in the world. So this is a very amazing achievement for Monash University. And for many years, we were consistently ranked number 2 in the world after Oxford University and ahead of Harvard, which was in number 3. And so this year, we have finally, you know, beaten Oxford to number 1 in the world. And besides pharmacy, you know, we're also very well known for our nursing. Our nursing is number 5 in the world, according to the ARW ranking. And we're number 5 in the world again for mining and mineral engineering. And 13 in the world for education, and number 1 in Australia for education. So we produce very high quality teachers. And we're #1 in Australia for business administration and economic studies, and #1 in Australia for chemistry. So there's a whole range of subjects that were ranked within the top 50 in the world. So obviously, due to time constraint, I'm not going to read out every single ranking for you today. I've just selected a few of the key rankings that we have performed really well in. So you can look up the rest on our website. Now, on the screen here, if you don't recognize this very famous global leader, her name is Jacinda Ardern. She is the Prime Minister of New Zealand. You might be wondering to yourself, so why is a Prime Minister of a different country appearing in Monash University campus? So Jacinda literally visited our main campus in Clayton last month in July, and she was here to sign an agreement between our Monash Food Innovation Institute, where this is an opportunity for our food sciences students to work with the New Zealand Agriculture and Enterprise Department to try and develop new products, new food agriculture products for the Australian market and also for the global market. So it's actually, as a student here in Monash, that's one of the unique reasons why you should be selecting a group of 8, and more importantly, why you should be selecting Monash University is the type of opportunities that's made available to you while you're studying here. We do a lot of joint collaboration with global, business and corporations where, our students have the opportunity, to do, while you're studying, you have the opportunity to work with a very wide range of industry partners, which would definitely help you in your career when you graduate in the future. And Monash Business School is triple accredited, or what we would like to say, triple crown. What that means is, on the screen, you can see we have AACSB accreditation. That's the North American accreditation. We also have the EQUIS accreditation, which is the European accreditation. And last but not least, we also have accreditation with the Association of MBAs, which is a global accreditation. What that means is it does place our Monash Business School as one of the top 1% business school in the world that has this triple accreditation. And what that means to you as a potential student is when you graduate with a business degree from Monash in the future, your qualification will be recognized globally, anywhere in the world that you travel to. And we're also a global leader in sustainability. We are ranked 18 overall in the world for our sustainability and social inclusion in accordance with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Now, a bit about our campuses here in Melbourne. So there's 5 campuses spread across Melbourne. Majority of the students would end up studying in our Clayton campus, which is about 40 minutes from the city centre. That's our largest and main campus. It's so big that it actually has a postcode of its own. That's how big the campus is. And that's where about 70% of our students would be based in this particular campus. The next big campus would be the Caulfield campus, which is about 10 minutes from the city center itself. Caulfield campus is where our design students and our architecture students and media and communication students and some of our business students would be located. And we also have our city campus, which is our Monash College, our pathway providers, which I'll give you a bit more information later. And also our world #1 ranking Faculty of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Science is based in our Parkview campus, which is just, about 5 minutes walk from the city center itself. And last but not least, we have our Peninsula campus, which is about 1 hour and 10 minutes from the city center. So the Peninsula campus is a specialist campus for occupational therapy, physiotherapy, primary education, and also our Bachelor of Business Administration courses. So there's only a few courses in this particular campus. It is slightly further away from the city, but it's only about, as you can see from the map, only about 10 minutes from the beach itself. So if you love a surfing seaside type lifestyle, then the Peninsula campus would be a campus for you to consider. Now, some pictures about the campus itself and why Monash University. On this slide here, you're looking at our green chemical technology building. This is a big investment from the university. The building has a lot of, besides being a brand new building, the university invested in over 220 million in building this particular building. In it comes besides being a new building comes also the latest technology for our students and access for you to do your research and laboratory work while you're studying with us. And that's one of the unique features why, Monash University would be different from other universities. For example, any of our chemistry-based students who have to do a laboratory work would typically have 30% laboratory access time compared to students from other universities, which is usually around 15 to 20%. And of course, this is our famous psychology and social sciences building. As you can see from the entrance, it's really vibrant and unique. And it's a very popular Instagram spot for students who are studying in our Clayton campus. So you are most welcome, to come here and take a photo when you do visit the campus. And of course, this is also one of our brand new building, which is our biomedical building. So all our medicine and health sciences related students would be studying in this particular building. And this is our Faculty of Education, Teaching and Learning building, so that's also another new building in the campus. All these new buildings are only completed within the last 3 years, so a big benefit of coming to Monash is we have invested a lot in providing you with the best learning environment and also the best facilities that comes with all these new environment as well. And last but not least, we're very excited. You can see this is the Victorian Hearts Hospital. So it's a collaboration between Monash University, Monash Medical Center, and the Victorian state government. So the Victorian state government has invested 560 million Australian dollars, to build this hospital, which is right in our main campus in Clayton. I mentioned to you, it's a big campus. That's how big the campus is, that we can afford to fit in an entire hospital. Now, this is going to be the first hospital of its kind here in Australia, where it's going to be a heart specialist hospital. The reason the state government has chosen to work with Monash is because we have a very strong research output in cardiovascular research and cardiovascular health. Once the hospital opens at the end of this year, it will give a lot of our health sciences, IT, business, engineering students, a lot more internship and collaboration opportunity with this hospital as well. So that's a very exciting development that we're looking forward to. Now on to some popular courses. Now there's over 400 courses here at Monash University, spread across 10 different faculties. So I'm not going to be able to say every single course to you, so I'm just going to highlight some of the popular courses so that you can have a look at it. And if there's any courses that I've not mentioned, please feel free to go onto our website and look it up. So first and foremost is our Faculty of Arts, Design and Architecture. The two key bachelor degrees here are the Bachelor of Architectural Design and the Bachelor of Design. Bachelor of Architectural Design, if you're doing GCE A-levels, the entry requirement is 8 points for your best 3 subjects. And if you're doing the Sri Lankan A-levels, we require 10 points. And for Bachelor of Design, our Sri Lankan A-level requirement would be 9 points. And GCE A-level would be 7 points. And within the Bachelor of Design, students can then specializes in communication design, which is graphics design. You can also do collaborative design. We also have industrial design, which is product design. And last but not least, spatial design, which essentially is interior design. And at the master's level, we have 3 different courses in this particular faculty that you can consider. The most popular being the Masters of Architecture, and we also have a Masters of Design and a Masters of Urban Planning and Design. All these masters are 2 years in duration, and the entry requirements are stated. So, for example, Masters of Design is a WAM requirement. If weighted, WAM stands for weighted average mark, WAM. So that would be a 70%. And GPA would be 2.8 out of 4. Now, all this is on the assumption that your total percentage is out of 100 and your passing mark is 50% for your university grading system. And for GPA, is out of 4 with a passing requirement of 1.0 GPA. So if you're not sure, just contact your counselor at IDP. They would be able to guide you accordingly. So the next faculty is our Faculty of Arts. Once again, 3 popular courses here: Bachelor of Arts, GC A-level requirement is 9 points. Sri Lankan A-level will be 11 points. We also have our Bachelor of Global Studies, where the A-level GC requirements is 10, and the Sri Lankan requirements would be 12 points. And Bachelor of Media and Communication, which we have GCE 9 points, and Sri Lankan A-levels 11 points. Now, what's really important about the Bachelor of Arts is you have a very large variety of specialization you can choose from, as you can see from this grid. So you can choose and mix whichever specialization you would like to do. The popular ones obviously are international relations, international studies, politics, literary studies. These are usually the popular ones, but you can pick anything you want out of this list here. And at the master's level, there's Masters of Communication and Media Studies, where our WAM is 70 and the GPA would be 2.8. We also have a Masters of International Development Practice, Masters of International Relations, and last but not least, Masters of International Sustainable Tourism. All these masters are 2 years in duration. Now, just want to remind you, this is not the full list of master's courses. Yeah, as I mentioned, there's over 400 courses. I'm just highlighting some of the popular courses. And of course, next up, Monash Business School. So within Monash Business School, at the bachelor level, we have 3 general degrees, as you can see on the screen: a Bachelor of Commerce, Bachelor of Business, and Bachelor of Business Administration. How are they different? So first and foremost, besides the name, is also the location of the courses. Bachelor of Commerce is based in the Clayton campus. Bachelor of Business is based in the Caulfield campus. And last but not least, Bachelor of Business Administration is based in the Peninsula campus. So different academic entry requirement, as you can see on the screen as well. Which one do you pick? Essentially, the best way to look at it is how much do you like mathematics? If you love mathematics and you're strong in mathematics, then my recommendation is do the Bachelor of Commerce. If you prefer a more people-based type career where you want to do a job where you are constantly dealing with people, then go into the Bachelor of Business. And last but not least, the Bachelor of Business Administration gives you a very strong administrative skills towards the various functions of business. So that's how you differentiate between the 3 general degrees. We also have 7 specialist degrees within the Faculty of Business. So I'll use the Bachelor of Accounting example. So how is that then different from, say, the 3 general degree? So the specialist degree, the main difference is from year 1, you start having specialist subject in your field of studies. So if you're doing a Bachelor of Accounting from year 1, you will have a lot more accounting specialist subjects that you are required to study. So that's different from the general degree, where the first year is more of a common year before you pick your specialization, year 2 of the degree. And at the master's level, the popular courses are the Masters of Professional Accounting, Masters of Banking Finance, Masters of Business, and Masters of Business Analytics. Entry requirement is on the screen, so I will not read it out to you. What's important to note is they are all 2 years in duration. The only exception to note here is the Masters of Business Analytics, which is a very popular course. So that does have an application round and application deadline. So round 1 has already closes on 30th July recently. So the next round of application, if you're looking at the February 2023 intake, that will closes, and that's the final round of application. It will closes by 30th September. So you need to get your application in right now. So contact your IDP counselors if you're interested in this particular course. Okay. And next up, the Faculty of our #1 ranking in Australia, Faculty of Education. So within the Faculty of Education, we have 1 key undergraduate degree, the Bachelor of Education Honours. It's a direct 4 years honours program, and we teach all the way from early childhood through to secondary education. So these are the different specializations that you can choose, as you can see on the screen. What's important to note, besides the GC and Sri Lankan A-level requirement, is to note the additional test. There's a CASPER test requirement that all applicants will be required to sit for. Yeah. So essentially, the CASPER test is an aptitude test to make sure that you have the natural personality to succeed as a teacher in the future. Yep. So this is definitely going to be, and you will need to book that in. It's an online test. So look it up and Google it and research a test and book it in as soon as possible, because there are set dates for the test as well. And what's unique with the Bachelor of Education Honours is it's a direct 4 years honours program. At the same time, we also have double degree option with a Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Business, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Music, and Bachelor of Science. So if you do choose a double degree, what's unique is you also finish the double degree within that 4 years. So whether you're selecting a single degree or a double degree, you will finish both within that 4 years duration. So that's something that's worth considering. And at the master's level, we have our popular Masters of Counseling. So with the Masters of Counseling, do note there are application deadlines. So for semester 1, 2023, application will close on 27 October this year. So get your application in soon if you are interested in starting in the February 2023 intake. Now, we also have a Masters of Education and a Masters of Teaching. Now, there is a difference here. If you are looking at being a qualified teacher to teach here in Australia in the future, then the right course for you to study is the Masters of Teaching. Yeah, and the Masters of Teaching, just like the Bachelor of Education Honours, would require the CASPER test as well. The only exception is the early childhood stream. So if you're looking at being only an early childhood teacher within the Masters of Teaching, you do not need to sit for the CASPER test. Yep. Masters of Education is for students who already have a teaching qualification and is looking at doing a master's to enhance their career progression into a management role. And next up, Faculty of Engineering. So within the Faculty of Engineering, there's only one undergraduate degree, the Bachelor of Engineering Honours. Once again, it's a direct 4 years honours degree. And within the Bachelor of Engineering, these are the different specializations that you can choose from. So we have aerospace, we have chemical, civil, electrical and computer system engineering, environmental engineering, materials, mechanical, robotics and mechatronics engineering, and software engineering. What's unique about Monash engineering degree is your first year is a common year. So regardless of your specialization intention, every student go through the same first year. And then towards the end of first year, then you start selecting your specialization for year 2 onwards. So that's good in the sense that you get a bit of a taster on everything before you make up your mind on what your specialization is. So that's different from many other universities where within the first year, you need to know what you want to specialize in. And at the master's level, we have 2 main offerings here. The Masters of Professional Engineering is the more popular option. It is a professional entry master's. What that means is when you complete the master's, you will receive the professional accreditation to work here as an engineer in Australia. And the duration is either 3 years or 2 years in duration, depending on your first degree and how the faculty assess your qualification. And we also have a Masters of Engineering, which is 1 year in duration. So that's for students who have an Australian equivalent Bachelor of Engineering qualification. And next up, Faculty of IT, another very popular study area here. So within the faculty, there's 2 different bachelor degrees that you can choose from, the Bachelor of IT and Bachelor of Computer Science. So once again, similar to the Faculty of Business, how do you go about selecting between the 2? If you love mathematics and you prefer a career where you're sitting at the back-end work, doing programming, doing algorithms, then you pick the Bachelor of Computer Science. And you need to be strong in mathematics for the Bachelor of Computer Science. And if you prefer a more people-facing type career, like a business analyst or system, analyst or IT network troubleshooter, then go into the Bachelor of Information Technology. And at the master's level, we have 5 different offerings. So they are all 2 years in duration, and yet all same entry requirements, weighted average mark of 70 and a GPA of 2.8. So it's quite a straightforward entry requirements for these 5 courses. And within the Faculty of Medicine, Nursing and Health Sciences, there's many direct bachelor degrees that you can choose from. So I have not listed all of them. I've just highlighted some of the popular ones here. So we have a Bachelor of Biomedical Science, and the prerequisites are chemistry and one of physics, maths or advanced maths. We also have the Bachelor of Health Sciences, which would allow you to progress into a wide range of postgraduate option when you complete your studies. And of course, the most popular course would be the Bachelor of Nursing. So for Bachelor of Nursing, do note it is a compulsory requirement by the accreditation body that all students will need to meet the English language requirement via IELTS, TOEFL, or PTE. And if you're doing IELTS, the requirement is 7.0 with no band less than 7. And at the master's level, once again, there's many courses in this particular faculty to choose from, but I will just highlight the most popular one, which is the Masters of Nursing Practice. It's 2 years in duration. It's a professional accreditation course. What that means is when you graduate from the Masters of Nursing, after the 2 years, you will be accredited to practice as a nurse here in Victoria. Yep, so that's an important thing to note. And for the Masters of Nursing, you don't need to come from a relevant degree in order to pursue the Masters of Nursing degree. So you can come from any background. So, and like the bachelor degree, you will need to meet your English language requirement via IELTS, TOEFL, or PTE. And if you're, depending on your individual undergrad degree, say, for example, if your undergrad degree is in a relevant study area like science or biomedical science, where you have human biology, anatomy, physiology type background, then you will meet the entry requirements once you have completed your English requirement. But say, for example, if you come from a Bachelor of Business or Bachelor of IT background, then you will need to complete a MONASH Human Biology short course beforehand. After you complete that short course, then the faculty will consider your application for entry into the Masters of Nursing Practice. And next up, our Faculty of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Science. So at the bachelor level, they have 4 different options. Well, essentially, there's 2 main degrees you can choose from: pharmaceutical science or pharmacy. What's the difference between the two? So essentially, pharmacy is for people who are looking at more of a people-facing career. So you like talking to people, talking to patients. So the job of a pharmacist graduate, when you graduate, essentially is to become a pharmacist, where you will be, either diagnosing a patient's symptom and then prescribing medication to the patients, or the patients will come with you with doctor's prescription on a few drugs, and your job is to dispense the drug and to explain to them how to use that particular drug. Yep. While in in comparison to pharmaceutical science, with pharmaceutical science, essentially you'll be doing the back-end research work, doing drug discovery, so your role is to actually design medicine and to improve medicine. Yep. So depending on which career track you prefer, you will pick either pharmaceutical science or pharmacy accordingly. And we also have our Faculty of Science, where we offer a Bachelor of Science, which is 3 years in duration. So the advantage of the Bachelor of Science is it has a wide range of double degree options that you can select from. And also within the Bachelor of Science, I'll show you the range of specialization that you can pick from. So if you are not sure exactly what kind of career you want in the future, then the Bachelor of Science would be a very good option to consider, because upon completion of that, it will allow you to branch out into many different postgraduate specialization, depending on what you have selected as your specialization at the undergrad degree. Okay, and now on the screen, we have Oshani, who is one of our current Sri Lankan students. I'll try and play the video, and I hope it works. Let me see. To share sound first. It's only about 2 minutes video.
Hey guys, my name is Oshani and I'm studying a Bachelor of Business Administration at Monash. So I chose to study at Monash Business School because I knew that their graduates had a very high rate of employability, and I also knew that they had some very fascinating industry connections. And yeah, all their courses are globally recognized. Last semester, I had the opportunity to work for a real client as part of one of my assignments for a marketing unit. So doing a project for a real client has given me the opportunity to critically think in terms of an actual business context and do very meaningful and solid research. That project is something that I wish to take to industry in terms of an interview and to help me reflect on the skills that I've learned throughout my course. Outside of the classroom, I've had the opportunity to work with the social media team at Monash Peninsula, put into practice what I've learned in my marketing degree. So in my particular course, the class sizes are quite small, which means that you get so much of personalized care from your lecturers. You can always book a consultation time with them. You can ask so many questions about your academics as well as your future professional goals and what you want to do after you graduate. I've never really felt like I was this isolated person in a lecture theatre. I always had that personalized attention from my lecturers, which I think was very beneficial for me to build up my confidence and actually prepare for what's out there.
There you go. So I'm very proud of Oshani and where she has what she has achieved for herself. You know, throughout she's in her final semester of studies, so she will be graduating by the end of this year. And throughout her last 3 years of study with us, Oshani has not done just one, not two. She has actually done 3 internships, you know, during these 3 years. So that is no mean feat at all. It's a really big achievement. And like I always tell students, there are internship opportunities available to you. They, you know, even though in a course structure, it might not be a compulsory requirement, you know, but there's always internship opportunities available in a big university such as Monash University. You just have to bear in mind that you have to be driven like Oshani. You have to work hard and you have to want it as well, you know, because it's not going to be given to you. Yeah. Like everything in life, you know, you got to work hard towards it. You got to prepare yourself. The university do conduct a lot of free classes on, you know, by Career Connect, where they teach you how to write your CV or your resume for Australian standard. They conduct interview classes so that you have an understanding on what a typical interviews here in Australia is like, what are the questions, common popular questions that companies tend to ask, and what are the answers that they're actually looking at. They can even do a mock interview with you if you ask and organize a one-to-one session with them, you know. So there are definitely the opportunities that you just have to show us that, you know, you're willing to work hard and go for it, you know, like Oshani. Now, in the event if you don't meet the entry requirements that I've stated in some of the undergraduate degree just now, we do have our pathway options at Monash College. So within Monash College, we offer 2 different pathway courses. You have your foundation year. So it's a 1-year program, and upon completion of the foundation year, essentially you can progress into any of our bachelor degree option that you would like to study. And we also have the diploma option. So upon completion of the diplomas, you will be progressing into year 2 of some of the bachelor degrees in the courses in the faculty that's listed on your screen now. So I'll use the Faculty of Business, which is a popular one, as an example. So you can complete the Diploma of Business, which is a 9-month course. Upon completion of that, you'll progress into year 2 of the Bachelor of Commerce or the Bachelor of Business or the Bachelor of Business Administration. So your total duration actually remains the same. You don't lose any time at all. Now, with accommodation, there's a lot of accommodation option in our main campus here at Clayton. So the first ones would be the halls of residence. So it's like your traditional, you know, US style, you know, residence where you have a long hall. And, you know, you have your own bedroom, and then you share shower facilities, kitchen facilities, and, you know, living facilities with all other students. And the approximate rent is about 250 Australian dollars per week. We also have our studio apartment style living. Once again, there's 6 different halls you can choose from. Like I said, it is a big campus, so there's a lot of options available to you. With the studio apartments, they are fully contained. So within the studio apartment, you have your own bed, you have your own mini kitchenette, own shower. So you don't have to share anything with other students, but they do have shared living facilities in those studio apartments as well. And the rental is about 315 Australian dollars per week. Now, just to highlight some of our famous graduates here who are from Sri Lanka. You know, so on the screen, you're looking at Nikita, who is the managing director at Lyceum International School. So he is a graduate of Monash University. And we also have Upika, who is now currently working as a brand development executive at Tumati. So the first two are based in Sri Lanka, and the next three will be based here in Australia. So we have Pratap, who is the engagement manager at McKinsey and Company. And if you have not heard of McKinsey and Company, essentially they are one of the most top tier consulting firms in the world. So it's very prestigious to be working for them. And likewise with Herman, he's working for Bain & Co., which is another top tier consulting company. And of course, we have someone who is working for another top tier consulting firm, Accenture, as a software engineering senior analyst. But he's also an Olympian, representing Australia in badminton. Now, on to some study grants and scholarship information. So first and foremost, it will be the Monash International Study Grants. So with the study grant, you do not need to apply for this study grant separately. All you need to do is apply for the course that you want to study at Monash University. And when you receive a full offer, as in there's no conditions specified on your offer letter, just contact your counselor at IDP to check whether you are eligible for the study grant. They will get in touch with me and I'll put in a request to the study grant committee. So it's a straight up 10,000 Australian dollar study grant for the first year of your studies. And there are limited places, so it's on a first come, first serve basis. So try and submit your application as soon as possible. We also have the Monash International Merit Scholarship, which there's about 31 places per year. So this is slightly different from the study grant. This one is 10,000 Australian dollars for each year of your course. So if your course is a 4-year program, it would be 10,000 for 4 years. Yeah. So with this, there is an application required. You need to submit application for this scholarship after you have received a full offer. And it's the same with the Monash International Leadership Scholarship. So that's a 100% tuition fee scholarship. So it covers the entire tuition fee for the duration of your studies. So both the merit and leadership scholarship, the selection is based on your academic results. And we also have a few other scholarships offered by the faculties that you will be automatically considered. So you do not need to apply for this scholarship separately. The faculty will consider any, they are all academic based. So if you are within your academic results meets the selection for this particular scholarship, the faculty will automatically award that scholarship to you. Okay, that's it from me. So if there's any questions, please feel free to ask right now.
All right. Thank you so much for your valuable information, Justin. And yes, we do have a few questions from students to ask from you. So shall I go ahead and ask?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So one student has asked, are there availability of veterinary master's coursework based for 2 years duration?
Sorry, what's the study area?
It's a veterinary master course.
Oh, no, that we don't. Yeah, we have medicine, but we don't have veterinary. Yeah, so that's an area that we do not offer here at Monash. The closest thing we have is in zoology studies. Yeah.
All right. So the second question is whether the mathematics is required for business management degrees.
Yes, so it is a requirement. So we have 3 business degrees, general degrees. So Bachelor of Business and Bachelor of Commerce would definitely require mathematics, as in GC A-level or Sri Lankan A-level equivalent mathematics. With the Bachelor of Business Administration, if you have a GC O-level equivalent mathematics, that will be acceptable. But if you don't have the mathematics in your A-levels, that's fine. You can always enter via the Diploma of Business pathway. And when you complete that, you will progress into year 2 of the business degrees.
All right. And then one student called Samanthi has asked, is Master of Nursing program accredited by the Australian Health Practitioner Regulation Authority? Will there be any pathways to practice as a nurse in Australia after studies?
Yep. So the both our 3 years Bachelor of Nursing and also our 2 years Masters of Nursing practice are accredited by APRA. We call them APRA for short. Yes, so they are both accredited. What that means is whether you complete the bachelor or the master's, you will be allowed to practice as a nurse when you successfully complete the course. So throughout both the bachelor and the master's of nursing, there will be clinical placements that you will need to do, and all that clinical placement will be sourced by the university and allocated to you. But once you graduate, obviously, then that's up to you to go and apply for jobs. But typically, most of the students will end up in one of the hospitals where they have done their placements.
All right. And the next question from Anusha, she has asked whether she can apply for the foundation program with pending A-level results.
Yes, she can, yeah. So she can start submitting an application while waiting, yeah, for the A-levels results.
Okay, all right. And the final question from Nalini Pereira, she has asked, are there any scholarship opportunities for Bachelor of Economics?
Yep, there will be. Yep. So as a Bachelor of Economics students, you will definitely be eligible for the study grants, first and foremost, and also you will be eligible to then apply for either the international merit or international leadership scholarship. Yeah. So I always encourage students, if you're interested in the scholarship, definitely put in an application for consideration.
All right. And yeah. One more question from the same student who has asked about Master of Nursing. She's asking, are there any clinical replacement or clinical practice in hospitals while doing Master of Nursing?
Yeah, it is a compulsory requirement. So as part of the course accreditation, you will need to go through, there will be hospital placements, and you need to go through different stations as well, like aged care, pedagogy care, depending on the different health settings. Yeah, so students will be put essentially during the 2 years studies, you will have clinical placement in each semester of your studies, and you'll be on different rotation with different hospitals, different type of healthcare setting as well. Yeah.
All right. So those are the questions from the students, and thank you so much for answering those questions. So yeah, we have opened the application for the next semester, which is February 2023, and start your process early. So it will be like, good for you since you have time for the application process to get the offer letter, since there are process like a long process. So if you have any more questions, if you are interested, you can contact IDP on 011771188. That's our landline number. Okay, and or else you can WhatsApp us on 070-198-1001. I can repeat the number again. It is 011771188, and the WhatsApp number is 070-198-9001. So yeah, that's it for today. So we are going to wrap up the session. Thank you so much, Justine, for your valuable information again. It was really helpful. And we will see you tomorrow with University of Western Australia. And thank you. See you soon.
All right. Have a good day, everyone.